Dr. Hamburg.
All right, well, thank you very much. I'm really delighted to be here and with my friends and colleagues addressing, I think, one of the most important challenges before our agencies and all of us in this room, whatever sector we are part of. The world has changed enormously in recent years in so many important ways that affect our work and our missions, which I think we all, again, share a common goal of throughout our work trying to advance the cause of human health and safety. But the world has changed. Science, of course, is advancing rapidly, and science is a global enterprise. We also, in all of our worlds, our countries, and our work lives are experiencing greatly worsened economic conditions and more economic constraints. We all live in worlds where there are important politics that pound at the door, and media and other things. And importantly, we all live in an increasingly globalized world. And I think for us as regulators, these factors all come together in critical ways that really demand that we make sure that we're adequately positioned for the challenges of today, tomorrow, and the future. And I think all of us in our different roles have been very actively engaged in this effort, and the elements that have come up already, the issues of trust and confidence, form an important bedrock for our ability to introduce the necessary change and to achieve our goals. The issues around ensuring an adequate and appropriate science base are also critical, because in all of our work, science must be the critical tool in our decision making that guides us and serves as an important compass as we move forward. And then how do we respond to a world in which there are no longer many products that are exclusively domestic in nature, but really almost all of the products that we regulate come in part or in whole from other countries, and often through very complex supply chains that are very difficult to understand, let alone oversee in many instances. In the United States alone, we are looking at products that are coming from more than 300,000 different facilities around the world, more than 150 different countries of origin, and coming into our country through over 100 different ports of entry. So the challenges are huge, and I think it has led to a real change in thinking and the recognition that we need to work together towards a new paradigm for action. And I want to focus just a little bit on what that really means. Various regulatory authorities have, over the last decade plus, been working more closely together through bilateral and multilateral agreements to share information and best practices and to work together. Also working with different international organizations to move towards harmonization of standards and convergence of ways of approaching problems. But clearly, the world is just too complex. We cannot continue to do this important global work through this kind of a patchwork of formal and informal relationships, some of which are very dependent on the strengths of individuals and the relationships that have developed amongst individuals. We have to make sure that we have institutionalized systems and approaches that reflect the demands of globalization. And so we really are trying to work much more now as a real community of regulators around the globe, trying to create a deeper knowledge base and set of working relationships and strategies for communication to produce something of a safety net with respect to the integrity of the supply chain, the quality of products being produced wherever they're coming from, and our responsibilities to protect the safety of our citizens within our borders.